Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Meta Cafe. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea, sit back, and let's chat about what is going on today up in the stars. Today, we're actually going to focus more on human design and on the gene keys, because yesterday we talked quite a bit about what is going on, at least astrologically, in the lead up to the full moon and to the spring equinox. So today I want to talk about what we are leading up to through the themes that we can see in human design and in the gene keys. And I've also begun really working with this calendar, the Pleiadian Earth Energy Calendar 2019. And this is a lovely, lovely calendar that is based on Pleiadian Earth energy. And it's called the Pleiadian Earth Energy Calendar. And it is very much in alignment with the themes and universal themes of a day. And as I started really looking through this, it reminds me so much of the Mayan astrology. And there's a good reason for that, because it was likely the Pleiadians who visited the planet Earth and seeded the Mayans with the knowledge of this particular calendar, which becomes their astrology and their calendar. And I'm really excited about being able to use this kind of calendar because it puts us much more in the natural flow of energy. So before I'm done this morning, we'll talk a little bit more about what the energies of the day, today and tomorrow, are through this calendar. I'm also super, super duper excited because tomorrow morning, Rosie Aronson, who is the Wisdom Keepers Oracle deck writer and creator. She's also written books about blossoming using your human design, which of course caught my attention right away. And she has such a fabulous story of moving through her life that I cannot wait for her to be able to share that with us. And I think allergy season beginning. Oh, what fun. I spent a good time yesterday outside just because it was beautiful, but it was also windy and blowing every kind of imaginable pollen at me, I suppose. Anyway, so tomorrow morning, Rosie will be with me at 8 a.m., of course, Pacific time, 11 a.m. East Coast time. And I can't wait to introduce you to her. I haven't met her yet, except via text messages and so forth. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. Let's see. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Asa and Mimi and Vanita. It's great to see you out there. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's hard not to think about having a nice day in the Pacific Northwest when it gets pretty. It's supposed to be 65 degrees today, but it's chilly this morning. So I'm looking forward to a beautiful day, being able to have my door open and let some of that warmer air in and just feel like, I can shake off winter and get ready for spring. Spring tomorrow. Yay. The new energy that the spring brings to us, whether it is one as powerful as it is that we have this year or not, doesn't matter. Spring always opens us into the gateway of the new astrological year. So there's that sense of optimism that we feel as we're able to see forward, looking forward and down the road to see what might be able to be created in the space of something new, especially when we're in the role of that natural kind of timing. So this morning we have the moon in Virgo. So this reminds me, Mimi, this is for you and anybody else who remembers their moon placement in their astrology chart. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. My friend Janice, good morning. I'm getting on the road home in a few minutes. See you soon. Janice, I can't wait to see you. Drive safe and have a great time. And let me know once you get here, or let me know along the way that you're safe. All right. So anyway, Janice is in Texas and on her way back up here to Washington. And yes, I'm excited. All right, something new right here. This is great. Right in alignment with the spring equinox. All right, so anyway, Mimi, getting back to you. I was thinking about you this morning because For the last couple of days, I was feeling kind of draggy, like tired. I would fall asleep early, or I just had no get up and go. And I realized, oh, wow, yeah, my natural moon cycle is in its waning phase. And the moon is at 8 degrees of Virgo right this minute, and that's where my personal moon is. So I'm experiencing my personal new moon right now, which means that the day or two before my personal new moon are the days where you're feeling kind of tired and low and draggy, right? It's like the end of your personal moon cycle. So if I'm in my new moon cycle, then that means you, Mimi, are getting toward the end of your moon cycle. Likely tomorrow is your new moon. And so today, if you're feeling tired or uninspired or anything like that, don't take it personally. It is just the end of your moon cycle. And this will begin again new for you when it gets, I want to say, Mimi, that yours is at 22 or 23 degrees of Virgo. So tomorrow, likely not today, but you will get there as well. I don't know why that came up, except I just happened to notice this morning, hey, moon in Virgo, and it's sitting at my own degree. And that means Mimi. I don't know why, Mimi, I remember your moon, but I do. So today, the moon in Virgo eventually opposes Neptune. And moon in Virgo always brings us the energy of getting practical and organized and getting things ready and taking simplified actions forward. Virgo energy is very healing energy, but it's also very, very much the energy of getting things done. So today's a great day to pursue working on goals or commitments that you've made, being able to, take the next step forward, being resourceful in how you use your time, your energy, your money, your anything that you have that is a resource for you. Be productive. And then, of course, we also have some other major energies moving in, and that really starts in tomorrow and kind of at the same time as we're going into the full moon. We have Mars in a trine to Pluto, and we have Mercury in a sextile to Saturn. So if we break those two down, they're kind of similar energies, actually. Mars trine Pluto is about getting things done. It stimulates our ambitions to move forward. It stimulates our creative energies. It empowers us to be able to move forward. Mercury and Saturn gives us focus and determination and the perseverance to stick through something and come out to the other end. So we have all of that happening, and it's not like I always tell you guys, it's not just on the day of that exact conjunction, or in this case, the exact trine or sextile where this energy is available, because it begins to be effective a couple of days leading into it. And usually, we're feeling that energy already building up. And some of you may be experiencing this almost as, it depends on, what your chart looks like, but you may feel this overwhelm in that, you may see that there's a lot that you need to get done, or a lot that you want to get done, and you have perhaps the energy to do it, but what hasn't clicked in yet, because Mercury is in retrograde, is the focus and the mindset to be able to get it done. Well, that part is building and comes into play today mostly, and tomorrow, and then somewhat on Thursday as well. So take heart. What I would do, and this is, I was actually looking up this energy this morning because I noticed that I've been feeling not myself. Other than I've never been a depressed person. I've never been a particularly low or melancholic person. I would say, yes, I've been moody, right, at times where moods are going up and down. But since I reached menopause, and I just seem to get myself into these low swings where I can't get out of it. And I was looking this up today. And what I realized is that I put an inordinate amount of pressure. Everything that I read this morning about what menopause brings, some of the symptoms of, the mind symptoms come when we place too many maybe projects or responsibilities upon ourselves. And I have a buttload of those right now. And is it any wonder then that combined with my moon in its lowest cycle, or in its completion phase, that I felt that overwhelm? And so maybe it's out there in the field so that it's available. That energy of overwhelm may be out there for all of you. But there may be some of you who are feeling it more excruciatingly. You might be a Gemini, a Piscean, a Sagittarian, and even a Virgo, because of Mercury being retrograde. It would be in a challenge to both Gemini and Sagittarius, but in your own sign if you're a Piscean, and opposing you if you're Virgo. Now, that doesn't mean that rest of you don't feel that energy either, but those are the more critical signs that are feeling this energy right now. And I got to tell you, it was like a weight off my shoulders once I realized that. I mean, I really thought something had happened to my brain, or something had happened to my, I don't know what I was thinking, because I was out of my mind. But it's nice to know that by trimming down some of the responsibilities, letting go of some of the things that you think you have to do in the moment, that you can trim down the overwhelm. Well, Mars trine Pluto, Mercury sextile Saturn helps you pull out what are the most important things for you to be focusing your time and attention on right now. So get focused and get determined, but also don't be afraid to let go of things that aren't in the immediate need of being taken care of, right? That is the most important thing that you can remember during this. On top of that, we're going to look today at some of the themes that are developing in human design. Specifically, well, it begins today actually, but I was specifically looking at what was going on for tomorrow's full moon and tomorrow's spring equinox. I should say that in the reverse order, because we have the spring equinox first and then followed by the full moon a few hours later. But I wanted to see from the human design perspective what the themes were, because I noted, as I was telling you all yesterday, the sun is going to be conjunct Chiron. That puts the moon opposing Chiron. The moon and the earth are in a conjunction, so that means the moon is also opposing Chiron. And what does all that mean? Just that little bit right there can give you chills, because anytime Chiron is visiting the sun, the earth, the moon, it makes it personal. It makes the wound personal. And it also makes the healing path personal. So I wanted to look at what the theme was of the gates that both the sun, Chiron, and earth moon were at. So the sun Chiron gate is 25. And I actually drew the chart up this morning. So let's do this. Mimi, yes. Heads up, 23 degrees. I don't know. That always sticks in my mind for you. I don't know why. And no time to be a happy bum, though I will be volunteering at a shop. Yeah, it's not about being a happy, well, I guess, happy bum is nice too, but just measuring your energy and knowing that if you're feeling that dip, that you're more tired than usual, honor that, because you're in the lull of your moon cycle. So here is our human design chart for today. So if you were born today, you would be a reflector. And isn't that interesting, right? We've had quite a few reflector charts lately. So right now there is this need, I guess, for people on the planet, or there will be, as these kids are coming in as reflectors that are, I think it seems to me, I don't know, I can't quite qualify this, but it seems to me like there have been a lot of reflector days lately. And if babies are being born on these reflector days, it seems like maybe we're getting up there with more reflectors in the world. Now, why would we need more reflectors in the world? Well, I think we would need more reflectors to be able to show us the truth of who we are, to show us and reflect to us where we are out of alignment with love, where we are out of alignment with humanity. And it would seem then a sign or a type that is being born in mass at this point in time would point us to a time in, maybe 20 years or so, where they would be in a position to really affect how we are living on this planet. So I have hope. However, that wasn't my purpose in bringing up the chart. I wanted to show you where gate 25 is. It sits right here on the identity center. So the sun and Chiron are sitting right here, and it leads over to the gate of shock. So some of you who may have gate 51, but not gate 25 defined, are suddenly in an initiation state. And whether it is through some kind of shock or some kind of excitement, some kind of aha or epiphany, you are set to be pushed into an initiation into some of the higher knowledge that is available here on the planet, specifically that of love energy, universal love energy. Now, right here is the gate 46. And the gate 46 is where the Earth is. It's where the moon is tomorrow during the full moon. And gate 46 is a love of the physical body, the body as your temple, the body as the home of your spirit. And so we have the energy in Gene Keys. I think it sums it up the best. It is the energy of seriousness in the lowest expression. And then it moves from that into the gift of delight and up into the siddhi, or the highest state of ecstasy. And not a sexual ecstasy either, but an ecstasy of joy and completion and love that is also being reflected to us from the sun at gate 25. In its highest, it is the gate of universal love. In its gift, which is, likely a place that we can all relatively easily reach right now, it is the gate of acceptance, and acceptance here on all levels. I was reading something that Richard Rudd wrote yesterday, and he was talking about this particular gate being one that's very much like an onion. We have to sort of peel away the layers of where we are not in acceptance to what is going on in our world or going on in our personal lives. And the more and more that we can peel away layers and find ourselves in acceptance, the easier it is for us to embody love energy. And that might mean acceptance of yourself. It might mean acceptance of any situations you're in, or it might mean an acceptance of people in your life, of the things that you see going on in the world. Who knows? But we're all being tasked to rise to the level, at least out of constriction into acceptance, right? We don't want to shut down and become small. We want to be able to be open and accepting of whatever it is that's out there, and apply love to whatever that is. That is what we are walking through as we move into today, but also that the spring equinox gateway is there as well. Also the full moon. So the sun and the moon in a full moon are in opposition to one another. Did you guys see the setting moon this morning? When I got up, I always go get my, coffee. And I walked over to the sink, and right outside the window, there was this, beautiful moon. And my husband's looking at it going, "Oh, the moon is full." And I said, "No, not yet." He goes, "You're kidding me. Look how big it is." And it is true. The moon looked very big, but it was in the process of setting, which would tell me that the sun was in the process of rising. The lower it got to the horizon, the more orange it became. It was just gorgeous watching this happen this morning. So when we can tune in visually to what's happening out there in the world, or happening up in the sky, we can also tune in, I think, easier to some of the energies that are happening here. So when we see the moon and the earth at ecstasy or delight, and we see the sun and Chiron at acceptance and universal love, we know that we are moving through something very powerful, something uniquely human, but is also an energy that's available through every piece of life on this planet. And that is the energy of love, the higher energies that we think of as love. So are we going to be loving both to ourselves and in our physical being, as well as the universal type of love that throws love out into the world and waits for it to be reflected back to us? Thus, a chart of a reflector, right? I hope that makes sense to everybody. Michelle Gay says, interesting that my Seattle doctor's office called to confirm my appointment for today when I had it on my calendar for next Tuesday, just in time for all these great energies. That's great, Michelle. That's like me yesterday, getting all set up to interview Amy and then realizing, wait a minute, that's next Monday, not today. Oh, Lord. Good morning, Lynn Goldberg, just joining us. That's great. Um, Thanks for being here. And Michelle, drive safe to Seattle, right? Drive safely. All right. So that is the sun and the earth tomorrow. Let's take a look at the other inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, because I also think they're in an interesting spot tomorrow as well. Mercury is sitting at the gate 22. The gate 22 is on the emotional center. Let me quickly show you here. The emotional center right over here, gate 22, right? And the gate 22 is in a very powerful way is responsible for our involution. So we have evolution, which happens out in the outer world, and we have involution, which happens in the inner world. Involution is a process by which we are embodying spirit. We are making spirit more and more comfortable within us, recognizing that there is so much more to us than this physical being that's walking through our day being, wounded and hurt or enjoying life, etc. Right? There's so much more to us than just the physical. And it's the animation of us, right? And it is the recognition that so much more is going on here. I think it was last week that the sun was at gate 22. It was March 8th through 13th that the sun was sitting at gate 32 or 22, excuse me. And now we have Mercury at 22. Remember, Sun and Mercury met up and the Mercury got new orders from the sun. And that would have happened at a time when we were talking about how are we going to be able to embody more and more spirit energy? How are we uniting the physical and the spiritual within us, and then being able to walk that through our lives, through the world? So Mercury's bringing more and more of that message to us. Venus also on the emotional center right now, gate 49. Gate 49 is right here. And she's in a bit of a revolutionary position here. 49 literally is the gate of revolution. It is the energy for change. And it is more than change, though. It's sort of rebellion that can rise up and push us into a new paradigm. So gate 49 is often there with people who are change agents on the planet, right? They are the ones that put pressure on things to begin to change, right? They're the revolutionaries, I guess you could call them. So Venus representing our relationships, representing our values and our self-worth is in a point of revolution for us. So she's telling us, you got to change, right? We can't stay the same here. Mars, I think, is perhaps the one that's at the most interesting place. Remember, Mars has been in Taurus, and that's been pushing us to be deliberate in the way that we take action. So every step forward has been very much planned and deliberate. Mars isn't particularly happy about that, but it's the best way forward, right? While he's in Taurus, the best way forward is that one step in front of the other, one step in front of that one, and then, that plodding almost energy, right? Like the tortoise and the hare. This is the tortoise energy. Last month when he was in Aries, it was the hare energy. Now it's the tortoise energy. And at gate 23, which is up here on the throat center, gate 23 moves toward the ajna, right? And it would be connected at gate 43 if it were a complete channel. And the gate 23 is the gate of, well, the best way for me to put it is simplification. It is the gate of simplifying everything. So Mars, in its slowing down and taking its time to take each step forward, is in a process of simplifying. And that's the highest expression here. Well, the highest expression is quintessence. That is a word that is beyond me at this moment. But literally, it is about finding the easiest path forward that is the simplest and makes the most sense, right? So in a way, it is, reduce all the fluff around you and get things down to their simplest common denominator or their simplest parts. And that way we can move forward without all that baggage, right? All of the baggage of the past, all of the baggage of your beliefs and your grievances. if they don't really have any purpose in the now, it's time to release them and let them go, simplifying your life and the process of moving forward. I kind of like that. Now, if we look at we look at the middle planets, Jupiter and Saturn. They're the transpersonal planets. They're not really personal to you. They're not really the outer planets, but they are in the middle here. So they're sort of creating the bridge between our inner and between us as individuals and us as a collective. And I find that they're sitting in some interesting energies right now. Jupiter's at gate 11. Gate 11, remember, is in its highest expression is light, right? Light energy. In its gift, it's idealism. And in its lowest expression, it is obscuration, where we can't see, right? We can't see, everything's dark. And Saturn is at gate 54, the gate of ambition and drive. And where's my little cheat sheet? Because I don't remember what the gift, where did I put that? Gate 54 in its high, oh yeah. Gate 54 in its lowest expression is greed, and it is aspiration in the next, or in the gift level, and it is ascension in its highest level, right? It's the planet that we've been watching in that case, because if we are tracking your mystical journey as a human being, if we're tracking if we look at every human being and their pathway on this planet, this life on their planet as a hero's quest, here is your starting point, gate 54. And it is moving through the energy so that it begins the pressure and the possibility of enlightenment, right? That's the push here, is we're moving through enlightenment. And we are moving through that purposefully, deliberately, and with this open, sort of like the Fool card. When you think of the Fool card, right? He's got his little knapsack on his back. He's whistling a tune, a little dog yapping at his feet. In one hand, there's this complete sense of freedom and excitement about moving forward, but he's very close to an edge of a cliff, ready to fall over, which kind of to me symbolizes the journey of the human being, right? We come into this body all full of hope and awe and wonder, and life begins to show up and create for us grievances, emotional connections, wounding, etc., right? So Mars here at Jupiter and Saturn telling us the journey is worth the effort, right? Because we're moving into the light. The Jupiter at gate 11 is also the gate of ideas. We may have a lot of ideas. It is also a gate that is the seeker, but not necessarily the person who finds. It reminds me of every time that you uncover something, you get a jewel, right? Or you've been seeking an answer to something and you uncover that answer. There's always another question, right? It has a thread that leads you somewhere else. So we're never at the end of our quest for light. We're never at the end of our quest for enlightenment. That it is a process, right? That we are undertaking through many lifetimes, not just this one lifetime, likely not just on this planet either, maybe on other planets as well. So it's kind of exciting. Those two planets to me feel exciting and are filled with reward if we dare to go on that quest, right? If we always stay in the same position that we've always been in, not evolving, then we're dying on the vine. These two energies make it so that we are feeling the pressure or feeling pushed to get out of our comfort zone and to move outward in the search for our ideals, in the search to connect with our ideals. Kind of a fun energy, don't you think? What's everybody thinking about this? Hey, Linda, good morning. Good to see you with us. Are you guys connecting with this energy? Are you feeling this inside of you? Am I like way out there in left field somewhere myself? I wouldn't be surprised if I was, but I'm hoping that some of you all are there with me, feeling this energy, this urge, this push to become enlightened, to not just enlightened in the sense of, I'm now a Buddha, character. It's not that. It's about the quest for embodying more and more of the truth, more and more of the light. Okay, let's look at the outer planets now because they're kind of fun too. The outer planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Uranus is still sitting at gate 3. Gate 3 is the gate of transformation. I'm going to use a different word here. It is the gate of mutation. Literally, it is an energy that's almost kind of out of our hands. There isn't much that we have to do with this except to be the receiver of the impulse for evolution and for change. We are embodying that change. Now, we can greet that with kicking and screaming, or we can embrace it and just move forward with it. I think we can see in the outer world where there are people that are kicking and screaming against change, against this kind of evolution toward a higher consciousness, one based on love and acceptance and tolerance and inclusiveness, that the results are pretty ugly, right? So we have to do a better job of allowing this mutation to move through us. But with every mutation, we need the resistance. Maybe someday I'll dig out my charts and I'll show you my ice cube model of why resistance is important in the grand scheme of ascension, i.e. a change of state. So Neptune is at gate 63. By the way, an aside, next month, Uranus moves from gate 3 to gate 27. Now, gate 27 is also on the sacral, but it's over here, right? It leads over to the spleen. So when you have, the planet Uranus on the sacral is the energy of doing, right? So we're doing something. At gate 3, we're doing a mutation. At gate 27, we are elevating our values to that of caretaking one another, of nurturing one another, loving one another, making sure that the weakest links are taken care of. So from April 14th all the way through December and even into 2020, the energy of Uranus begins to work on the level of how do we take care of one another? Are we taking care of one another? I could say so much about that, but I'm not going to do that. Not opening that door this morning. So gate 63 then is the place that Neptune is sitting at right now. It is about self-doubt or doubt. The energy here in this gate, it's up on the head center. And the energy at this gate is really interesting because we're designed with doubt. We're designed with doubt that is meant to have us questioning what is going on around us, kind of asking the question, is this true? Is this real? Is this correct? Not does it feel correct? Not the emotional, but is this true? So it forces us to use our own discernment in determining whether what someone else is telling us, what the world is showing us, is true or not. Is it factual? Is it not? Right? It's kind of it's a bit of a logical kind of gate. And in this, sometimes we take that energy of doubt and we turn it inward upon ourselves and it becomes self-doubt, right? So that then we begin to doubt what we know to be true. We begin to doubt, especially if the outer world is putting a lot of pressure on you to see things differently, to see things through the lens of ugliness, chaos, and the need for guns and the need for protections and all of that. When you start to see the world through that, you begin to doubt the truth that you feel inside, which is that all of that is love energy, not all of that outer world, but that what we need is more love energy. So self-doubt, wrong, but doubt and suspicion of what others are telling you, right on. Neptune sitting here for a long time has been, bringing this up for us. We have to clear sort of these cobwebs of these old paradigms and the truths as we've been taught them, questioning them, right? Questioning those truths. And then Pluto, gate 61, awe and wonder and magic, bringing us out of the energy of psychosis, which is what it is in the lowest expression. Pluto's been sitting here for a little while as well. It is also on the head center, right smack dab in the middle, if you want to think of it as the third eye, where magic resides and where all is possible, where magic happens. Unless, of course, you are in psychosis, which means that you don't see the awe and the wonder and the magic. You're too linked to the world as you see it, or the way that if you can see it and prove it and it's real, then it must be true, as opposed to linking up to what's possible. So interesting energies, I think, that the outer planets bring us into. It's injecting this doubt, this questioning process, this rising up to greet the potential that there's something bigger going on this planet than what we can see, hear, feel, taste, touch with our physical five senses, that we need to use something more in order to connect with that energy. So good deal, right? Colleen, I'm feeling it. I keep thinking I should be a Buddhist monk. I love it. Maybe you should be a Buddhist monk, or maybe you could just embody the energy of being a Buddhist monk and look at the world through the eyes of that person, of that being. How would they see the world? Did you guys know there's actually a channel in your human design that we call the Buddha channel, kind of, affectionately call it the Buddha channel. And it is, whoops, let's see here. Can you guys see this okay? It would be the gate 10 here on the identity center, and its connection up to the gate 20 on the throat center. It's part of the mystic circuit as well, which we were talking about gate 54 being the impetus to start that mystical journey. And the 1020 is a connection that we call the Buddha channel. It is taking the love of humanity and the love of self and expressing it up and manifesting it through the throat center. So it's kind of cool energy. So if you're someone that has the 2010, maybe Buddha channel is your game, right? Natasha, what is she saying here this morning? Yes, you're smack on, as I was up at 3 this morning, while not up but awake with the full moon yelling at me and my mind taking 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I sat down with my council, my guides, my angels, and myself, and we had a conversation, too quiet to balance. I think today is the work in progress, I hope. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. We're all a work in process. Good morning, Kristen. It's good to see you out there this morning. So here we are in some very energetic times, but with a purpose. I really feel like there is a purpose for everything that's happening. Not that there hasn't always been a purpose to everything that is happening, but I think I really can feel that there is a purpose and a reason for the things that people are experiencing, for the things that we're seeing in our outer world. And it's really a call for us to change things from the inside. It's an inside job. Who said that? Change is an inside job. Was that a Michael Moore movie or something? I don't remember where I got that. But anyway, so be willing, be able, stay present, walk deliberately, and yet slowly through the gateways that are opening up here as we move into tomorrow. And Vanita, I woke at 444 this morning, mind going, 444, an angel message. Dang it, poor Suzanne is in the midst of a bunch of stuff in her life, and she's our usual morning person with the numbers. She's the Johnny on the spot number person. Maybe, who else out there does numbers? Maybe Debbie Tibbetts. I thought I saw you out there, maybe. Debbie Tibbetts, are you out there? Or Lynn Goldberg, maybe 444. The number 4 always reminds me of the building of a foundation, the limits, the foundational energies that you need in order to move forward or move up. So maybe that was a call from your angels to build the foundation, right? You can't go forth until you have something solid underneath your feet. Now, I wanted to take a quick look. I have a client early this morning, so I need to go here in a few minutes, but I wanted to take a look at the Pleiadian Earth energy for today and for tomorrow. By the way, we are going to be interviewing Pia Orlean and Colin Baird Smith. They're the creators of this. They channel a group called Larksma, who are from the Pleiades. And I'm not necessarily big on channels and things like that. I always kind of get my BS meter starts to go off. And yet with these people, there's something true. There's something magical. There's something here. I can't put my finger on it yet. But I haven't met them in person either. And we are going to be meeting up April 18th to bring you a show based on this calendar and on a book that she's written, which is the Pleiadian Earth Astrology. And I find this, like I said, very much akin to the energy of the Mayan calendar and Mayan astrology, which of course makes perfect sense because the Mayans say that they got the system from star beings, and star beings might have been the Pleiadians. So today, the 19th, because we're still in that kind of calendar mode, the 19th is an 8. It is a day, so this calendar looks different, right? It has the Gregorian assignation up here in the top, but this energy is the main energy, right? The 3. So today, the 19th down here, the main energy of the day is 8, catalyzing, and tomorrow is 9, enlightening. So I wanted to read to you what those things meant here, because she's got this little primer in the back. And the catalyzing part of this, catalyzing is the earth energy. So the earth energy is catalyzing. It is from the west, and it is using challenges as creative opportunities. That's the appropriate use of the energy of catalyzing, using challenges as creative opportunities. The inappropriate response to this energy is reacting with drama or disappointment. Reacting with drama or disappointment. So I got to share something about this because this is kind of funny. I didn't draw this parallel until just now. This morning, one of my clients texted me and she said, "Oh, I didn't get the job." And in the very next sentence, she said, which makes perfect sense in light of what we were discussing yesterday, which we were looking at her transit chart and the fact that she wants to break out of working for someone else and start her own practice, her own business. And catalyzing, right? The negative or the inappropriate response to that energy could have been reacting with drama or disappointment. Instead, she used that challenge as a creative opportunity to really have the space to work on her own business instead of taking on a new position that would have created the need for her to stay beyond maybe the time and place for her to make a change to running her own business. So I like that. I like that we can see that right there. Tomorrow, the full moon, the spring equinox, is the energy, earth energy. Oh, wait, hold on. Back. So the earth energy was catalyzing from the west, the using challenges as creative opportunities, or in the inappropriate was reacting with drama or disappointment. But we also have a universal energy of the day, and that's embodied in the number 8. And the number 8 is about connecting. And it says connecting brings accelerated communication and abundance on all levels. So 8 today is a day of accelerated communication and abundance on all levels. Gotta love that. Now tomorrow is the 9, and 9 energy is called enlightening. So the earth energies for tomorrow is enlightening, committing to ideals and opportunity for social progress. And the negative or inappropriate response is polarized judgment. Whoa, that's empowering, isn't it? And the number tomorrow, the universal energies are 9, and 9 is a harmonizing number. It is a day for bringing more harmony into your life through enlightening, right? I love that. There's a synergy here between this system and what I was just talking to you about with human design. I kind of like that. I love it when systems become coherent systems. All right, let's see. Anything from anybody else? Debbie Tibbetts, yes, 4 is solid base. Okay, great. So when you take 4, 4, 4, maybe the message is, you really got to work on this, right? You got to really build that solid base up. Okay, guys, that is it for me this morning. I'm sorry I have to bail on you early. I have a client at 9 o'clock, so I've got to get ready for that. Much love to all of you today. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, Rosie Aronson with us, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 a.m. East Coast time. Can't wait for that. See you all tomorrow morning. Bye.